Piracy, that's what's happening here, with the connivance of almost every teenager in southeast England at any rate. We're banned for...
Just because something's against the law doesn't make it right or wrong.
We've been raided that many times, I've lost track.
Contrary to a lot of beliefs, it's not a life of glamour and high living. This is not pirate radio, this is free radio.
I listen to pirate radio because it plays a lot of the music that I like, and it wouldn't usually be played on commercial stations or legal stations.
I'm Rebel D and I'm a presenter on Birmingham's free radio station, PCRL. I've been a presenter now for 13 months. The word pirate originated with the days of Caroline, Tony Blackburn and his crew. We're doing a similar kind of thing in as much as we're getting across popular music to people who won't get it through the mainstream media. Unfortunately, it's not just about music, it's about culture, it's about where we are and who we are as a people. In order to find out how and when PCRL started, I went to see the program controller, a man called Pilot.
In the old days, we had a bit of a conjecture about the name because we first called it PCRL, People's Community Radio Line. But after conversations with various people, we thought Link would sound better, so therefore, People's Community Radio Link.
In the beginning of PCR in the early days, what was the target audience you were aiming for?
When we first started, we started to broadcast initially for the black community, who at that time, and still do, felt very disenfranchised by what they were listening to on mainstream media. I've
noticed over the past couple of years that access seems to be more difficult in terms of sites for the transmitters, and consequently the reception's a lot poorer. Are there any reasons for that?
As you know now that they're trying to kill off stations such as ours, free radio stations, so the access to tower blocks, i.e. they've put cameras in and all sorts of other surveillance equipment, and various locks have been put on the top of tower blocks to prevent persons from getting up there, setting up pieces of equipment so that transmission can be obtained. We've been raided that many times, I've lost track, and it has run into now, I would say, hundreds of times.
Over the past couple of years, I know there have been a few attempts made to legalise PCRL. What is the future plans for the station in terms of becoming legal? Yeah.
Well, we feel that we still would like to go legal, because obviously it cuts out the hassle that we do have in broadcasting in the manner which we do. I mean, we wouldn't have to find safe havens to broadcast from. We'd already have a safe haven. There wouldn't be people wanting to raid the station. We'd be able to get on better with what we set out to do in the first place.
Okay, Pilot, thanks a lot for turning up. Right, I'm going to show you just how hard it is for me to get my voice on air. I'll see you soon.
0956 285 934.
They've got different choice and they can be more specified than normal radio stations.
Well, this is our current studio, very much the same as all the rest. We're always on the move because what we are doing is still illegal, and the consequences of being caught in the studio are an unlimited fine and up to 2 years in prison, which none of us want to do. Although I acknowledge that what I'm doing is illegal, I don't see it as wrong. Okay, I just wanted to make that distinction. The secrecy about the studio goes as far as that my girlfriend doesn't know, my sister doesn't know, even my daughter, if there was something happening to her, she wouldn't be able to get hold of me other than through the telephone line. And it is really that serious. And it's not something we want to do. You know, if the opportunities were there to go on the other side, we'd gladly take it. Contrary to a lot of beliefs, it's not a life of glamour and high living. And the impression the public have is that It's very much like a real radio station where all the facilities are there, etc. When in reality it's not. We've got very limited resources, got very limited equipment. Just down to things like chairs, you know. The chair that we use actually collapsed under a presenter the other week, and it was nearly a week before we had one replaced. Despite all that, it's worth doing it, because if we don't do it, there's nobody else going to do it.
Here we are at Radio House, the head of BRMB, Birmingham's biggest commercial radio station. What are they doing for black people? This is Heart FM, who have just received a new license for the Birmingham area, another station that doesn't cater for our needs. Here we are at Radio WM, Pebble Mill, Birmingham. Once again, not really catering for our community. They don't want to hear our voice, they didn't want to talk to us. And once again, I'd like to know why they can't come and talk to us, or why they can't cater for our needs. And that's all I've got to say about them.
They're catering for people that other stations don't cater for. They have no right to shut them down. They're doing a service for the people.
Part of the reason why we're here is that we're not being catered for by the mainstream media. We're being listened to by many people around Birmingham and the West Midlands, and have been continuing to do so over the years. We would like to be legal. I'd love to be legal. I'd love to get paid to do what I do. I'd love to have the stability to develop a program, develop a style, a format, but I haven't got those opportunities. I'm always running from here to there, making sure that I'm safe rather than the quality of the program. Becoming legal doesn't require all the expenses that are being asked of community stations at the moment. It can be done on smaller budgets. It's been proved time and time again with the small RSL stations. But so long as there is a need, so long as the need isn't being met, then I, for one, will be continuing to do this kind of work. Because although it criminalises me, I don't feel that I am a criminal. Just because something's against the law doesn't make it right or wrong. It's for you as a person to decide if what you're doing is worth the risk, and if the benefits are great enough for enough people. And as far as I'm concerned, there are more than enough people within the West Midlands region and within Britain as a whole who do actually benefit from having a station such as ours available to them. I'd like to see it being able to run for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. At the moment, we're running evenings only and weekends, which once again is a compromise. We should be allowed and included in all aspects of the media. And until that time, I'll continue to do what I'm doing, along with many, many more. And there's always more coming.
They should just let them pay, and they're providing a sort of valued service.
Don't shut it down, because I think it's quite a valuable tool for people, especially in Birmingham.
They should really be allowed to exist as they are.
I think once they're not actually interfering with anybody and they're not sort of obscene or anything, leave them alone.
Can't stop us.
See that?